In this class, we are going to kick things off by learning the basics of HTML. We're doing this for a number of reasons. First reason is that in places like Moodle, you should know, be able to embed things like YouTube videos into Moodle web pages and beyond. Watch this. Just paste it in. XHTML viewing. Whoa, it's a YouTube video here, and no one has to click a link or copy and paste a link. Speaking of links, you should also be able to hyperlink rather than just copying and pasting a link for people to have to open themselves. So you can highlight the text you want to hyperlink, click link, paste it in, create link. Now it's very clear what this text is going to lead your user to. This is also an important feature for both accessibility and for usability. You should also know what headings are. See this text? See how it looks a little bit different? You go into the HTML mode, you'll see that that's actually heading size 3. See the H3 tags on it? We'll learn more about that and why that's important to format that specially and not just highlight the text and make it to a bigger font. You should know the difference between using a dash to write lists out and using bullets as an unordered list or numbers as an ordered list. There's a very important difference. In the background, you can see that difference as well. See, now it's actually indented this and labeled it as a list. There is an important, again, accessibility reason and usability reason that you should be using built-in formatting features like lists. All right, besides these basic things, and again, this HTML view in Moodle is actually pretty standard for a lot of web interfaces that you'll encounter in your work as an instructional designer. But beyond this, you can also use HTML and basic knowledge of HTML and other programming languages to make your e-learning courses do more. For instance, in this storyline course, I'm unable to copy the text that's on screen, but I added some simple code that I actually got from somebody else I copy and pasted, and using that, now I'm able to copy and paste words and formula that's generated from within the storyline tutorial itself. Additionally, you'll also be able to do things like look at the back end, the HTML behind your course. Again, when you create something, a storyline or Captivate, you're just making fancy web pages. Sometimes you publish a course and then you realize after the fact you need to change something. Maybe you need to swap out an image or change a background color or even make a different font choice. You can actually analyze the back end of your course once it's already published. You can see background colors here, border options. This is actually CSS rather than HTML, but again, once you get the idea of how programming works, you can make some major changes without having to republish and re-upload your courses to a server, which can be really important if something's already deployed and people are already using it, for example. So that's the overview of why we're covering HTML in this course. It's a good place to start from in this course because everything that comes after it is going to start building on what we learned with HTML. Again, we're just going to do some very basic HTML. I found HTML knowledge to be really useful in my work as an instructional designer, but I don't have a lot of it memorized. I go back and look things up all the time to remember how to do things all over again. Once you understand the basics, we'll be able to build on this knowledge to format web pages to make your work more accessible and 508 compliant, which is important if you end up working in the public sector. You'll also be able to make your documents more accessible as well. Did you know that Microsoft Word and PowerPoint have built-in accessibility features which basically mirror the same web features that you use to make a website accessible? The same features exist in Microsoft products to make your documents accessible as well, using the same lists, headings, formatting, so on and so forth. You'll also be able to do more with the open media that you want to reuse, whether it's images or sounds or entire courses you get from elsewhere on the web. And basically, the bottom line is you'll be able to make everything that you create more usable. So I hope you don't feel intimidated by this. We're not going to dive, again, that deeply into HTML. I just want to give you a taste of it, an idea, so that going forward, you're able to do more with what you're already doing.